And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to raise my children. But it just burned inside me. Keep going, keep going. And then I got, while I was here, Nick at Night's Funniest Mom picked to do that. I didn't win. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I didn't win. I got runner-up. But I always had things like that happening from Hollywood and things that kept me encouraged to keep going. My kids, I would pick them up from school. I'd go take them. We go to WBR. I'd say, get yourself a Dr. Pepper and some popcorn down in the basement. You know, there was a treadmill or an elliptical machine. I'd say, don't get on it. They're not going to let us back if y'all get on that. And they would. I couldn't do a thing with my baby. But they had a ball. They were like, oh, Mom's on WBR. And I look back, I've got those tapes. I've got somebody sent them to me, and sweet Maura Kay, I never said Maura, right? That angel had had me on. Beth, Russell, my little Todd. I went to church with Todd, and his kids went to school with mine. Sweet Todd. Y'all were like my family, and kept me. I felt like I was doing big things because y'all would let me come on, and I just talk out of my head. Did I have a hernia surgery repair?
Yes.
I've had 4 television deals for sitcoms with huge writers and showrunners and all that. And I'd be going back and forth to LA and then, getting to my kids and pickup line. But I on the national scene, as far as like selling tickets, I could not sell tickets. And the sweet Tom Bug that books the Bijou in the Tennessee Theater, because I've known him for 100 years, would let me come here. Before here, there was Side Splitters. It was Comedy Zone, and then it was Side Splitters. Comedy Zone, they wouldn't have much to do with me. I was a mom. It just wasn't hip. Comedy Central was big. Comedy Central wouldn't take me. They wanted young, edgy guys or women that were, kind of nasty. And I just did not fit. And so I got a lot of rejection. But then Side Splitters came in, and I got to tell this story because Side Splitters, by the time Side Splitters came in there, that kitchen had a grease fire. Every time that I went, the law would have to come. The fire department, it would get so hot in there, the air conditioner would, and you would just slide across the floor in heels trying to get to the green room because it was greasy. But the man that booked that said to my manager in LA, yeah, we'll have her. Like, he begged, let Leanne come. She might have a following in Knoxville because of WBR. So he books me and gives me some unbelievable door deal, and thinking that I'm not going to sell any tickets. Sweet Knoxville people came out, sold that weekend out. That man had to give me a lot of money. He was so mad. He said to my manager, all those Christian people came in here and drank all the Diet Coke. And I was like, well, I bet they were sweet people came in here, and they were not the kind to get in the parking lot and get drunk and fight and the law come like other people attracted. But anyway, from then on, I never got that door deal again. But that closed down. And then Sweet Tom, I don't know how it came about, but he let me come to the Bijou. And every year I would torment him and say, how many tickets have I sold? Do you think I'm selling out? Like, I'd literally be out here on the street barking, come to my show. And y'all would let me come on WBR, all the radio, Halloran, everybody would let me come at WIVK and try to sell those tickets. And I always sold out, but it'd be the last day, And then so jump forward to 2019, a restaurant in Knoxville with Chuck Morgan crying, having a crisis, saying, it's not going well. Nobody cares about me. I'm going to open up a Mercantile and sell canning goods. And I'm going to have a big cheese wheel, some rocking chairs, and maybe sell pocket knives. And we can I'll just dazzle people as they come in. And he went, are you crazy? And first, Chuck is an MBA. You don't know how to run a business. He wasn't thinking about the artistic. I think it would kill. Anyway, he goes, that Leanne, and I go, well, and I knew I was going to have a grandbaby. Charlie got married right out of college, and I knew I was going to be a grandmama, and I'm from the country, so grandmamas take care of their grandbabies, and I thought, I'll just have my grandbabies and I'll bail out of this thing. But it kept burning in me, and my manager at the time said, Dry Bar they're doing specials. Dry Bar is a platform online that the people started in Salt Lake City. And he said, they want you. Nobody's ever heard of it. He goes, it's not gonna, because I couldn't get Netflix or anything like that. He goes, they're doing comedy specials with clean comedians. Nobody will ever see it. Nobody cares, but we'll get film and try to get you more shows. Okay, that week that I shot that special, I was doing the Dubuque Chamber of Commerce luncheon. That's how bad my career was going. Which I love the people of Dubuque. I don't want to talk about Dubuque because they're beautiful people. I don't know where those people come from. It's stunning. But anyway, I was doing the Dubuque Chamber of Commerce luncheon. That's how bad things were going. And he said, Dry Bar wants you to shoot a special. You're going to be out west anyway. They're going to pay you a couple of $1,000s. We'll never see it again, but we'll get clips from it, and you get more Chamber of Commerce luncheons. And I just thought my life is over. Anyway, I buy an outfit and I go out there and I shoot that special, and he said, just do old material that's not anywhere, that nobody has seen. Because, people used to tell me, oh, the internet, you need social media, and I just could not wrap my mind around how important it was going to be. And I had, a few followers on Facebook. My personal page, I was putting up pictures of dachshunds. I didn't know what I was doing. So he says, go out here and do this special. So I did it. We didn't think a thing. It took a long time for it to come out. They put it on Facebook. 50 million views now. But at the time, I thought, I could not sell tickets. It came out. It was doing really well. I got a bunch of fans on Facebook, maybe like 25,000 fans. And so my manager tried to call around and get me booked in clubs. I did a few clubs, could not sell tickets. They said, we love her. She doesn't get drunk and fight in the parking lot, because a lot of comedians get drunk and fight in the parking lot. But we're not going to have her back. She can't sell tickets. And that's when I went to dinner with Chuck and cried and said, I'm getting a cheese wheel. Okay, so then it's a lot of rejection, and even having millions of views online did not translate into ticket sales. It's just a nightmare, and my children were grown, but I didn't want to get out and start doing the club circuit at my age and do all that and not be able to sell tickets. And so the Dry Bar thing did not translate into tickets. Well, but it did give me some money, not a lot of money, but it gave me enough money to kind of invest in myself. Over 25 years, I'd had like 2 or 3 headshots made. Like, if I made money at the Butterfly Fund, I went and bought my kids uniforms. I got their hair cut. I never put it back into myself. I didn't have a website. I don't know what I thought I was doing. Probably Chuck Morgan too. And he would say, you're not saving for your taxes. I have to pay your tax. It was like Leanne's little kooky hobby. Really. And because I was taking it seriously in my mind, but I didn't really have a business model or anything. And I had a manager, but he didn't, bless his heart, he didn't know. So anyway, but he was sweet. Okay, so I take a little bit of that money from Dry Bar, and I had been watching Nate Bargatze, who I love, is a good friend of mine, Jim Gaffigan, all these people I admired, and they were selling out theaters, and I wanted that. And I thought, what are they doing? So I told my manager, I said, they have got somebody doing their social media. I need somebody to do my social media. He goes, you can't afford it. You don't need to be doing it. He didn't understand. He knew less than I did. And I just went against him, and I took a gamble on myself. And I hired these 2 boys out of Plano, Texas, 2 young guys that are, close age of my children. And it was a fluke I found them. I think it was a God thing. And they got me. I thought in my mind, I'm going to give it 3 months because it's very expensive. I'm going to give it 3 months. And if nothing happens, I know that's God telling me, I'll just start cooking pinto beans in a house dress, and I'll tend to all these grandchildren. Okay. And I'll bow out and I'll be okay. And then, and Modern, they started in October 2019. We were moving my baby into an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. She was going to school for makeup for television and film. And they put out 1 clip of me talking about taking Chuck Morgan to go see Def Leppard and Journey at Thompson Bowling Arena, and how everybody looked sick and old, and everybody had plantar fasciitis. It started going viral. And I remember we were getting suitcases out of a tiny hotel room in Brooklyn, and I said to my family, I think something's happening. And everybody went, shut up, the Uber's here. And they just didn't realize, and I felt it, Abby. I felt a wave of something